Hi there, Dr. Jones here. Just wanted to pop in really quick and talk about one of the things that I hear a lot from people that are contacting me and that are looking for therapy. One of the things that I hear is that, oh, I can't seem to find a therapist that specializes in narcissistic abuse, or my therapist feels like the word narcissist and narcissism is overutilized, and so they don't know. And I'm here to tell you that therapists specialize in a myriad of things. Depending on who they are, they all have their unique specialties. And so narcissistic abuse, while it may be sort of taking off in the public like wildfire, it's a relatively newer phenomenon in the way that it's talked about today. And so everyone is sort of the general public has sort of identified everyone in their life that's a narcissist, but it's still a newer phenomenon. And let me explain by what I mean by that. So when I was starting out, back in 2000 and back in the early 2000s, I started out by going to school and researching. Like, I started out even with narcissistic abuse and writing about it, and doing research study on African American women who grew up with parents who abused them, and so on and so forth. So it really developed from a combination of my personal experience and my passion and expertise, and then I always sort of gravitated back to it somehow, some way. And then even so, when I started doing a lot of forensic work and corrections and so on and so forth like that, so it always sort of came back to me in that I'm working with victims of abuse, or I'm working with perpetrators of abuse and or violence. And so I've always sort of, it's definitely been my calling. Now, with that being said, every therapist is different. There are some that specialize in depression, anxiety, adolescence, suicide, and so on and so forth. But again, narcissistic abuse has now sort of made this explosion with the general public. And what I will say is, when you find people that specialize in it now, and so for me, I feel differently about it because I've, written, published, done studies, and so on and so forth. And so this has been my life's purpose. But what you have now, you may have other therapists and treatment providers that may take a course or something like that, and now sort of add that to their specialties. And so one of the things that you want to look for is, when you're looking for a therapist, is you want to understand their experience and how they got into it, and just how long that they've been doing it, and make sure that it's not something that they just sort of watched a few videos, or they took a weekend course and now has added that as like a subspecialization. And so for any unique niche area, for someone who is a specialization in a niche area, just like you're going to a doctor, a medical doctor that has a unique niche, trust and believe that the reason why they are the expert in their field, or a leading expert in their field, is because of their background, is because of the work that they've done and their passion for it. And you can very quickly tell someone who has a unique niche area and who knows what they're doing and what they're talking about, versus someone who is sort of specialized in it. And so sometimes that person, when you're going to a uniquely niche doctor, and I'm not saying it should be this way or shouldn't be, but sometimes it's like Fort Knox, getting in to see someone, because it's just not so common. So just something for you to think about, that specialty niche areas, true specialization in any profession, it doesn't matter, is a lot harder to find when you have a truly qualified professional. And now there's all these sort of paraprofessionals and coaches and things that are popping up left and right. But a true qualified licensed professional that has a unique niche is always going to be much harder to find and much harder to get into. And again, it's not, I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but I'm just saying that that's typically how it is, and it's something that I've experienced before when I've had to go to a medical professional or someone. There's usually like a long waiting list or something like that in order to get in to see them. So hopefully that helps.